Hi, I'm Therese Fernand, owner and creator of Eventures Divine and the Divinely Charmed brands. Welcome to my office here in Briarcliff Manor, Westchester County, New York. I am in the business of human experience, and what that means is I take ordinary life themes, celebrations, and events and create something, well, extraordinary. And how do I do that? People ask me all the time. Well, the way I see things is that I look for ways for people to fully immerse, fully engage in all the five senses in their experience of an event. And I do that through artistry, through the senses, and that's what I call it. I'd like you to be fully immersed and engaged in your entire experience from start to finish by taking on that theme or concept and tasting it, seeing it, hearing it, and experiencing the passion of the time in which that event has unfolded. Take Carnevale di Venezia, for example. My theme was astrologico, which means of the stars, and the famous Italian Venice Carnival that has been for centuries old is a celebration. And taking those themes, I brought them here to Briarcliff Manor, back in February, and I had my guests dress up. First, they were asked to be in semi-formal attire, and it creates a mood, an experience for people right off the bat just to get dressed up, that they're not in something that they ordinarily would wear. And putting on a mask, well, that takes guests to another place. It lowers inhibitions, and people are intrigued and experiencing something new. They are titillated with the senses. And what I have found is that it creates a magic of sorts, and things just unfold differently than they would if somebody is just attending an event as a voyeur, as a guest, versus being a participant in the event. I mean, we've all been invited to a wedding, and we don't really know the entire wedding party or maybe the family thereof, and we're just an outsider standing on the perimeter of that event, and we go and we say our cordial hellos, or we have some good food and listen to some good music, but really, are we part of the event? What are we experiencing? What about the obligatory business event? What about the celebration that we were invited to but would rather not go? You know what? It's because it's the same old thing, and we experience and have an expectation of what's going to happen at that event. Well, here's where I'm different, and this is what I like to bring to my guests and to my clients. Let's not only create a theme and a concept, but how do we expand on that theme? It's more than the decor of the room. It's more than what's printed on the cake. It's more than the colors of the tablecloths and napkins. How do we encompass an entire setting of a stage? So what I do here at Eventures Divine is create a production. Every detail, from the napkins to the cake, which are important, but it's more so how your guests will interact and experience that evening. So we set the stage for a fantastically magical, there's no other word, it's just magical here at Eventures Divine, of experiencing Italian Carnival or experiencing 1920s New Orleans. That's our most recent one. How fantastic to ask your guests to dress in 1920s attire. People were flipping pearls and men in their suspenders. We had all the elements that people felt like they were in another place and time. And studies have shown that people, when they're in costume or when they're dressed up, just relate and experience things differently. We've all dressed up at Halloween, and you've become the superhero or the sexy vixen or the villain. And what does that feel like for the evening? Everyone is free to act any way they want because they have the experience of that costume. They have it's like a pass to act differently or feel differently for that set and time period. And that's what we do here, is create something magical, something different to lower our inhibitions and fully engage in an experience. In my events, you don't even see people holding a phone except for maybe to take a selfie at our selfie stations that we set up so that everything looks like you're on the bridge of Venice, or that you're in front of an old shop, an old magic voodoo parlor in New Orleans. And there's just so much I can tell you. And I want to be able to bring you advice and tips on how we can do this and what you should be thinking about and setting the stage for as you plan your next event. And you don't need a huge budget. You certainly don't. You can give your guests an experience that they'll never forget. Make them part of your celebration, not just a guest attending on the sidelines. Stay tuned and I'll tell you more. I look forward to it.